Hawksley Workman, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
You're like an hour and a half late, young man.
I don't run my life on the road. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, it's okay. I'm just kidding. You came down from Edmonton. I was just watching on social media. It looked like you had a great time in Edmonton.
Edmonton was mental, yeah. Edmonton's always been a really great city for us. I think it has something to do with the gigs I've done at the Edmonton Folk Festival, and there just being like a real sort of plugged-in music listening audience there.
Mm-hmm. Now you're playing the Yates tonight. Geomatic Attic is bringing you in, and you've played at the Geomatic Attic before, have you not?
I played at a United Church.
Okay.
But they did the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So sure, this is another time in town. What are you thinking of Southern Alberta when you make your way here for the big guy from the big city, Toronto?
It's beautiful. And the other thing is that we've been driving around Western Canada now for like a week and a half, and the weather has been incredible. We've got Fiona Bevan from the UK with us. She's like, her mind is blown. Like she's never I don't think even been able to conceive of this kind of space. So not only is it, has it been beautiful going through Saskatchewan and Alberta, but it's been incredible weather. And then you have this gasping breathlessness from Fiona every time she sees like a bison or a deer or a stretch of land that seems to go off to the horizon. It's stunning. And then I guess we're kind of in the Badlands here too. Hey, is that right?
It's pretty bad. You came in on a non-windy day. Are you aware of how windy it is out here? It's insane.
Is it?
It's not like Hurricane Patricia, but it's pretty bad.
And now, am I smelling like?
Today it's manure.
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
The other day we've got a distillery in town. So the other day I was smelling distillery, and the day before that I swear I was smelling sunflower seeds being roasted or something. So every day it's a new smell in Lethbridge, and today it just happens to be manure. Sorry about your luck.
You know what? I don't mind the
It's the smell of money. That's what they say around here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Why? Because it's a cattle farming. Is it cattle
Absolutely.
manure?
There's a ton of it. Yeah. Who knows what kind of manure it is? I'm not too sure.
You're not a scatological. What are those guys? A sommelier, a scatological sommelier.
That's got to be the title of a record or a song.
I think
or something.
so.
I'd say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of records, Old Cheetah when did that drop? A couple
In
of months
June,
ago?
yeah.
Was it June? How's it doing, and what's it mean to you?
Oh, I love the record, and I don't know. I feel so great about still. I mean, you know what? This tour in general has been a kind of what am I trying to say? So you spend when you're young and you're taking off and you believe your own hype, and you've got record company people telling you how great it's going to get and all the work you're going to do to get there. And I guess what I'm saying is I just enjoy the job now, and I enjoy kind of what I do, and there's no hype machine sort of around me now, and I must admit I don't really miss its presence.
Yeah.
Because it's all kind of a lie, and if you start to not be the champion show pony that everybody thought you would, it's surprising how quickly those people disappear. You know, and so they've long sort of gone, and now I get to hang out with my friends and play these huge concerts. Like last night was totally mental in Edmonton. I remember the last time we played here, that United Church was a stunning show, and there's a lot of people in Alberta now. I felt like when I started touring Alberta 15, 16 years ago, that Edmonton and Calgary were the kind of the dots on the map. And I remember even the first time I saw Calgary on the horizon, it was like a tiny cluster of buildings, and now what a populated place. You can come and play and play and play. Swift Current in Saskatchewan was incredible. Red Deer was amazing too. There's a lot of people out here all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. When I just when I started out, and maybe they were always here, maybe my agent just didn't send me here, but it's cool. It's cool to come this south. It's a lot different. It's a lot different down here.
It's a different part of the country.
It really is.
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
You definitely see that just following social media after the election. It's we won't get into that because then people are going to start fighting and throwing stuff at us, whatever. But as far as the title goes, Old Cheetah, I'm just going to take a guess in here because you and I are the same age.
Okay.
You moved from Huntsville to Toronto to start your career the same year I moved from New Brunswick to Ontario to start my career.
Right.
I saw you at a club in Kitchener-Waterloo after Lover Fighter came out. I don't really remember it because I was younger then.
Yeah.
There was some loving and some fighting and some drinking going on.
Sure.
It's obviously, life has changed a lot for me in that amount of time as someone who would be watching your show. Like tonight, 15 years ago, I wanted to sit in front of the stage and drink my face off and watch Hawksley Workman.
Yeah.
Tonight, I do want to sit down in the nice seats that they have at the Yates and watch Hawksley Workman. Is it different for you as well?
It's totally, I mean, Jay, honestly, we could talk about this whole aging thing. And it also has to do with you and I are in the performance business, you know? Like, we're in show business. And show business doesn't like funny-looking people, doesn't like old people. It likes pretty young people. And, you know, even I think the business from when I started, we can even say back when we were both, you know, like, let's go back 20 years. I sort of even feel like you could be a little bit funny-looking or a little bit older and still sort of slide through, but the entertainment machine has really, like, it's really sorted itself out. It's an ironclad thing, and I really, you know, I sort of get that feeling like it's more a beauty contest now than it ever has been, and the music business is no different. And so what does that mean? It means that I belonged in it for a minute. I was on Much Music for a minute, and then I sort of spat out the other end too, because I think in order to live in that realm, to kind of and to be that thing, you got to be committed to wanting to be a piece of meat, you know. And I think for folks who that's not in their DNA, and that's just maybe not in my DNA, you see that the path to becoming famous is kind of it's crazy.
The positive, though, is that you kind of weed out the people that aren't really fans, though. You know what I mean? Like,
that is true.
It frees up the seats at the Yates for people who do want to see you, not just people who want to go to a show and get wasted.
You're totally right, and that's exactly how it was. I remember after Striptease hit the radio, it was like the shows were 3, 4, 5 times bigger all of a sudden, and then a few years later, it sort of came back to what it basically is now. And I sort of feel like every night I look out and the audience is singing every word, and there's some of them my age. I am now meeting fans who have kids who grew up on my music, and now they're like, you know, oh, we brought our daughter, 15, it's her first Hawksley Workman concert, and it's like, wow, like, it's strange and disconcerting, and
please don't tell me that's my child.
But you know what I mean, like how age centric the whole like performance element is, like, and how staying young is important and staying connected, and I don't know, I like kind of being a little bit older. What do you?
Yeah, I'm exhausted, but I've got kids. You don't, but
kids, no. You're
on the road all the time. That's a different kind of exhaustion altogether.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I don't mean to bitch about being tired, because everyone's tired. A 22-year-old college student is tired because they have to go out drinking on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays and probably Tuesdays because wings are cheap. And there's $2 tacos, for crying out loud. They're just as tired. Everyone's tired.
It is true. And everybody is busy. Like, how are you doing? I'm busy. It's true. I mean, I really, on this tour, like I said, I'm out here to enjoy myself. Sometimes I can be a bit grumpy on the road. I have a history of feeling like, you know, a bit grumbly, but this time it's big smiles. The other thing is too, our touring team right now is amazing. Everybody's great. Nobody's, you know, usually on a tour you have one person that you're really trying to avoid, and on this one it's been pretty good. Everybody's, there's even maybe been, usually I can tend to be responsible for the most drama on the road, because that's what the singer does, you know.
Sure.
He's the one with tears and laughter. And
no one understands my art.
Understands me. Exactly. Oh, it's embarrassing. But I'm a grown man now, you know, and I have a house, and I don't have kids, but I do have gardens, and I do have to look after things. I do have to stay, you know, it's like we were saying on the way in, you know, you'd offer if I wanted to drink a beer, and I was like, well, back in the day, I would have already been 5 or 6 deep at this hour in the day, you know. But it's nice to feel like an adult, feel in control of your life a little bit. I know I must sound like I used to be spinning out of control. It wasn't quite like that. I think too that everybody the archetypal rock musician is supposed to be a total screw up, you know, like I'm supposed to be drunk all the time, and when you play that role, people think it's great. It's like it's a catharsis. Like, well, look at that guy's destroying himself. That's just what I want to do. And then they get to go home to their wives and family, and yeah, I got to hang out today with a guy who's destroying himself. I think somehow it's like requisite. I think we like to see that in artists. We like to see a certain like willingness to self-destruct, and there's no doubt about that I still have a willingness to self-destruction, but it's really guarded now, and I really I self-destruct in nice bite-sized pieces, very manageable pieces, because, you know, being down for the count is no fun anymore.
Yeah, I'm tired of falling down when I'm drinking. I shouldn't be doing that.
Exactly.
I shouldn't be doing that. I know better. Hawksley Workman, I could talk to you for another hour, but unfortunately, we should probably get to some music. And this is Make Up Your Mind Night the lead?
Yeah.
From Old Cheetah? It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Have you got any follow-ups that we should be playing? Scott's right there. Scott
You know
should
what?
be. He's the guy to talk to.
I'd say Winterbird. Winterbird is like that should have been the first single, except radio guys were like, "Yeah, go into with a song called Winterbird to radio in May." It's like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna fly.
Sure. All right. Well, what do you know?
I
You
don't
only wrote
know.
the damn thing.
I know.
Hawksley Workman, thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks. I'm sorry I'm late.
Anytime. That's okay. It's whatever. I got to drink an extra beer. Got to stay away from my kids for another hour because of you. Thank you very much. Hawksley Workman at the Yates this evening. All the info up on our website, 98.1.